What's up, Nerdy Nation? Welcome to the Nerdy Side Up. I'm Ben.
And I'm Lou.
And welcome to the show, Collaboration Edition.
Ooh.
Yes, we have our friends from the Football... Is it the Football Dropout podcast?
Footballdrop.
Just
the Football
I knew
Drop.
I'd get that wrong.
Good start to the show.
Over to you. Introduce yourself. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, hi guys. I'm Ben from the FDP. I'm very well, boys. Thanks for the invite. Pleasure to be here. Very weird being on the other side and being a guest, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Is this the first time you've been a guest on someone else's show?
It is, yeah. So I don't have to worry about sound quality, editing. I can just sit back and chill out. So yeah,
that's fine. We don't worry about it either. So it's all good.
Yeah.
The thing is, we'll probably end the podcast. We'll play it back and we'll be like, "Why is it silent?"
Yeah.
No. We've got the little buttons going up and down, so it's definitely recording something. It might not be recording lots, but it's definitely recording something, and that's the main thing.
There we go. If not, we'll do it again, won't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
Shame.
I'm sure we'll find some time.
Yeah, exactly that. So yeah, how are you? You good? You living life to the fullest?
Enjoying it as much as I can. I've got a little on the way in October, so
massive.
I'm trying to cram in. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. So yeah, cramming in as much gaming time as possible, pretty much now.
Yeah,
and,
love that. What are you playing at the moment? What's your...
So at the moment, I've kind of got the Pokemon Go hype back at the moment. So I've had a couple of good events recently.
Yeah,
I mean, the community days we all know are pretty crap.
Yeah.
But I've discovered. So I've got a Samsung Fold phone.
Oh, okay.
And I discovered about 2 weeks ago I can actually have two accounts on it at the same time.
What, one on each?
So yeah, so for me,
That's
it's a bit of a
amazing.
game changer. So
Yeah, that is a game changer, especially with like the raids and all that sort of stuff. Like, sometimes you just can't do raids on your own.
No.
You just can't do it on your own. And if you're not like out and about walking around, or like for me, at the end of my road, there is a raid that I can just reach if I'm in one corner of the house. But if no one else is looking past it, I ain't going to beat a legendary raid in raid hours and stuff like that. So yeah, that's mad. That's a game changer. That is a massive one.
It really is. So I went out with another friend of mine, and we had 5 accounts up. So he had 2 phones. I had mine. He had 2 phones with split screen. I had mine, and yeah, we managed to do about 5 or 6 raids out of it.
Yeah,
so, and they're legendary raids as well. So you can actually get stuff done. It's just so hard this day. Like the community, yes, they're there, but it's very divided now. Like, I know they've added features into the games, trying like the campfire kind of like embed and stuff like that, but it's just not quite the same. You know, it's not like the 2016 hype that we had.
Oh no, yeah.
Just after COVID as well, when we go back out.
It was funny. In our little Pokemon group, we were saying today like how it's changed and how we wish we could go back to when it was like COVID Pokemon Go, because it just worked.
Yeah. It was. It's a different era, wasn't it? It feels like now.
Yeah. It was the only time that you could get out, though, wasn't it? So you made a point of like seeing each other from 2 meters away, just to see each other more to the point. It was great. I think the worst thing for me, and this kind of shows how long I've played it quite consistently, is they removed the weekly. You know, the weekly challenges, the research challenges that you do, and you get to the end of the week and you get so much Stardust, so much XP, and then you get an encounter. Yeah. They used to be shiny chance legend.
Yeah.
So like I got shiny Moltres, I've got like a shiny Groudon, shiny Latios and stuff like that, all on there from that. Whereas now I've got to find half a dozen other people who may be in the same area as me trying to beat a raid just to get a chance at that, which I think is stupid.
I know, I miss those days. And it was so easy, like the weekly challenges when it was like
spin a Pokestop twice.
Throw 3 curveballs.
But
it made you go on every day, didn't it? That was the thing. That it enticed you to keep going back, and inevitably you'd end up doing more than one challenge, wouldn't you? You'd always do something. Or you get to like 11:58, you're like, oh my god, I haven't done it. I need to log on quickly. You're sitting there going, it's literally midnight basically. It's like, no, it's 11:58 and I need to do this now.
2 minutes, and I can throw 2 curveballs in 2 minutes.
I could do this in 2 minutes, and it was weird because I remember it coming out. And I don't know how I managed it because I've never been able to manage it again. But I managed to nationalize my Play Store, which meant I was effectively in America. So I downloaded it about 2 weeks before the UK got it. And it was one of those games. I was wandering around and I was doing it, and it was the first game I ever thought, I'm going to put some money into this because there's a Squirtle up there and I haven't got any Pokeballs. I've never done that in a mobile phone game before. And like, I was like, do I just do it? Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, why has it come to this? I'm like a mid-20s human being wanting to buy money to catch a fictional character which happens to be down my road just because it's cool.
Yeah. Do you know what? With that downloaded from America, there was a glitch, wasn't there, when it first got released? I remember it's clear as day. So me and my pal, we went out a couple of weeks ago. We both downloaded it. It was like, we've read about Pokemon Go, because there's lots of hype in the build-up. It's like, it's a mobile game. Everyone's like, well, it's going to be rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like 8 years later, it's still going pretty strong.
Yeah, it's not too bad, is it?
But they had some sort of issue in the store where they'd released it worldwide, but it was only through this one link or something. I think it was IGN released it or something like that. And then it kept going through, and then obviously it just blew up. So everyone was on it. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, I've got to get my username as quick as possible because I know everyone's going to get it. I was like, yep, put my full name in like everybody else did. And you're like, why have I done that? So everyone knows who you are. But it was fun at the time. But we got like a 2-week advantage.
Absolutely, yeah. And it was, again, I know Pokemon has evolved into this wonderful thing where it's like there's over 1,000 Pokemon and all this sort of stuff. But way back when, even on Pokemon Go, it was just the original 150, 151.
Yeah.
And like there was just something so pure about it from my perspective, given the fact, I mean, I'm not a Gen 1er. I never was a Gen 1er. I started in the second generation, but there's still something quite pure about just having the first 151 as the only things that are available to you. And that got a lot of our generation really, really pulled into it because it's going back, isn't it? It's going back to your childhood. It's great.
100%. It's that nostalgic value. And I think games generally now thrive off of that. 100%. Sometimes you do want some fresh content, but like, keep it the same,
Like Prince of Persia, didn't they? They're re-releasing that. They're doing a Gears of War and stuff like that. So it's like games that we would have played for the very first time when they were released, and then 10, 15, 20, however many years it is, they're re-releasing them but doing like prequels or stuff like that. But it's, for us, it's such a hype because we're sort of like OG gamers when it comes to playing them. Yeah,
it's a mad world thinking that we are the OG gamers because like we grew up as they developed it. Like today, like most games can look like movies. We were back with the 32-bit top-down driver games and stuff like that. You just...
Do you know what? I still miss them.
Yeah.
I still miss those style of games now.
What was your first console and first game that you played?
So first console and game was one of the original Mario Brothers on the NES. I used to always go to my granddad, so he had it. So my granddad was, back in the day, like a proper techie. And he's basically a big kid. He's like 70-something now. He's still a big kid. He still does things like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, obviously summer holidays, it was like, like half term. You always go to your nan and granddad's generally. I thought that was kind of like my upbringing as well. And he was, we got this, and like we had the guns for Duck Hunt and things like that as well.
Yeah,
it was like,
Duck Hunt.
This is like incredible.
Yeah.
He did have the SNES, but I don't remember really playing it too much. But the NES for me, obviously, like the block side, and it's not working. Blow the cartridge, it's all good, it's all fine, you're sorted.
Blowing the cartridge, blowing the console.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, everyone said it doesn't work. In your head, you know it works.
Yeah,
always. There's 90% of it is mental. It doesn't matter if it works or not. In my brain, it works because it's the same with the old Game Boys, didn't they? Like the Game Boys, the Game Boy
absolutely. Like a harmonica.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What about you boys? First consoles then and first games?
First console would have been Sega Mega Drive, and it's a toss-up between the first Sonic game or Golden Axe.
Oh, okay. I've never played Golden. I've heard of it. I've never played it.
Yeah, I spent hours playing Golden Axe. I used to remember, like, as a kid, waking up early for school, but so I could play Golden Axe, like even if it was like half hour, I'd just be like, Mum would be like, Lou,
go.
Yeah, she's like, Lou, school. I'd be like, yeah, I got a minute. She's like, no, now. I'd be like, I just need to get to this one bit, like to get to this checkpoint.
I was a little bit later to the party, so my first console, I'm pretty sure, was the PS1. I think we discussed this before, but I'm pretty sure it was the PS1, and it was one of the driver games. I think it was
nice.
One.
That'd be the first driver game.
Yeah, it may even been Driver 2. Because they used to come double disc.
Yeah.
And you had to finish everything on disc 1 before you could go over to disc 2 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little bit later to the party because it was definitely the PS1 was my first console. It was like a joint birthday Christmas present with me and my brother.
Nice.
And yeah, I can't remember what we got. I'm pretty sure it was one of the driver games that came with it.
Okay.
Or one of the very, very early FIFA stroke. I don't know if you remember it being a Footballdrop podcast that you guys do. Do you remember the UEFA Champions League 1998 video game?
Do you know what? I'm going to make myself sound absolutely terrible here. I wasn't a massive football fan until early 2000s. So games and stuff. I never really played football games until like FIFA 11, I think, FIFA 12.
Oh, okay.
Kind of when I first started playing it. So like the gaming side, I was always a Nintendo man.
I
always played the kiddie, like the Mario, like the classic for me was Diddy Kong Racing. I don't think you always ever played it. Like Tip Top was like my character. He was brilliant. He'd fly around in the plane and the hovercraft. Yeah. But I was always a Nintendo boy until probably 15, maybe 14. Then I got a PS2 back then. So a friend of mine from school, we used to go around here and play San Andreas, obviously when it first came out. Up, down, left, right, square, circle, triangle, X, and all your like Hydra appears and stuff like that. And that's kind of what made me go and then get a PlayStation and go into like more serious games, like grown-up games.
Yeah.
But I was always very much the childish kind of gamer on that side, to be fair.
Amazing. Yeah, so, I remember the one thing that I remember from that Champions League game, and I think why it sticks out to me is of the year, I think it was 98, I think they called it 98, but it came out in about 2000. It was one of those weird ones because you got to play as like popular parts of games in history, and the one that I always remember is you got to play the last 7 minutes of the United Bayern Munich game when they won the treble, and you basically played the last 7 minutes 1-0 down, and you had to replicate what happened in those that end time. And there was loads of them on there where you got like the second half of a game but you were losing significantly and something happened in the real world which made them go, right, see if you can replicate it. It was brilliant.
Oh wow.
It was a really, really good game. I distinctly remember it because I'm the complete opposite with you when it comes to like football games. Is I fell off it when it came to FIFA 14 or something like that, because I played football my entire life. Like football was a massive thing in my entire life. And it got to a point where you had to have a little bit more of a skill with the controller to do what you wanted it to do. So I'm sat there going, I know what I need you to do because I've played football for my entire life. Pass the ball in that direction, but I didn't have the technical ability to do it on a controller. So I just gave up. I was just like, I'm going to be a child now.
Yeah.
Throw FIFA out the window. I don't care anymore. You can have your FIFA. I'm going to stick with like Call of Duty and stuff like that because it's games that I know that I'm not going to be very good at in real life, so I can pretend that I'm good at in gaming.
Yeah. Joe, I'm the same with FIFA now. I think it's FIFA 20 or FIFA 21. I was like, right, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to go for like the Ultimate Edition things. A couple of friends play it. We do like Friday night games and stuff. I was like, right, we're going to smash FIFA. He's a big football fan as well. So obviously you want the best team in the world and you've got to do all these challenges. But it was just so hardcore and there was just so much to do in there. That obviously you're always going to get those sweaty gamers. Like we've all encountered them. You're both smirking now as well, so clearly you know them well. Might even be yourselves. But you kind of get to those people, and I'm the same as you, Ben. I don't have the skill to do it. I know what I want them to do. I've watched enough football games over the years to know you do a twist there, pass that long, chip it over the top, job's done. You're going to go back of the net, happy days. But I can't tell my fingers to do that. I don't know how to twiddle it left, right, up, and then hold L2 and square or whatever. It just doesn't work.
Too many buttons.
Too many buttons. And you get these people, and I'm like, how the hell are you doing it? And you watch your streamers, and they've got the sort of camera down, watching them do it. And I just think, it's like it's 4 people doing this.
Get a real job.
Real job.
Even then, I sit there and I'm like, I couldn't do it. Like, I don't have the capacity
I've never had it. I mean, like, for me, I'm one of the football games that sticks out was Red Card. I mean, you literally just, like, 2-foot challenge someone and stuff like that. It's like a classic game.
Nice.
And I played a bit of, like, FIFA Street and stuff like that. but I've never. I think the last FIFA game I owned was probably like 03, 04. Like it's never
that far back.
I never enjoy. I don't get me wrong. Like I love football. Like going to watch it on the telly, playing it like physically. But no, I think it was because that issue, like you say, you've been playing football on a pitch. You know that you want to do like a 1-2 or things like that, and then you come to play on the PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, and you just can't. Like you say, you can't tell your fingers to do that to a computer player that you're playing with. So I think it just frustrated me a lot, and I was just like, I had a lot of probably. Controller rage with FIFA and so I don't like if I went around someone's house like a FIFA night, I would play it, and if I scored one goal, I'd be like, yeah, world's best FIFA player right here. But I've always been more like action adventure games, like say your Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Prince of Persia, stuff like that. So, but it's each their own. It like I say, I don't mind it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much
have FIFA, like I say, 03 or 4 somewhere. I think it was the PlayStation 3. I had it.
PS2.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
PS2. Wow. Yeah, I think we were talking about this off air. Like, I am the person who has never thrown a disc or a game away. So I've probably got the run from like 98, 99 all the way through to about 2011 until I stopped buying them. I couldn't throw a thing away. Could not throw a thing away.
Things like FIFA's too dear now, isn't it?
It's what 60, 70 quid for the main game, like 90 or 100 quid now for like the Ultimate Edition.
And then obviously like you can buy the cards or whatever. I mean, that's how really
coins or something,
cards or whatever. That's like, hold on.
The thing is, it's so addictive, and because they've got an app now, it's the Ultimate Team Companion app or something.
Oh, right.
It's so easy to just do these microtransactions. Like I was guilty of it when I first, I think it was 20 or 21. I was like, yeah, get it on my phone. And like some of the other lads from work played it as well. So we'd do like the pro club things, you all playing together and stuff. And they're like, no, we're doing Ultimate Team. I was like, why? It's like, because I need to get this. And like they'd have 98, 99 like rated Messi, like the informed players. But it's same as like Pokemon. They introduced so much to it and added so much to the game. It's just so bloated. You just don't understand. So if you're not playing it every day to do, as we said before, like the daily challenges, weekly challenges and things, you fall behind so quickly.
Yeah,
and then you've got, as you said, those 20s,
doesn't it? Because sometimes you just, like, obviously you can do like, you do like the career mode, don't you? And you like run through it and you do stuff like that and you enjoy it. But like if you're doing it online and you don't have the ability or the funds to do like the ultimate challenge, you could have just like your normal standard computerized team and ratings. And then, like, you play someone that's like plays it for 12 hours a day and has got 99 ratings on every player, even though they're probably using like Margate Football Club.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll smash like Man United or Liverpool, whatever, like 3 or 4-0, and you're like, it's not really fun anymore, is it? Like, and don't get me wrong, I know people enjoy it, and it's just like my opinion on it. But I always thought FIFA was one of those games that you'd have your mates round. You'd get like a pizza in, you get some beers in. Obviously not like 10, 15 years ago, maybe a shandy bass, if it's slightly,
Feeling fruity.
Yeah, on a Friday night. But FIFA for me has always been like just a muck about with like the lads or whatever. I've never really got serious with it.
No, I can kind of relate to that to a certain extent, but my issue is I'm too competitive with stuff. Like, I want to win no matter what. Like on the podcast, I created cups with trophies, like a predictions cup. Really? Just because if I was winning, I wanted a trophy because I don't win trophies in my life. Like just make the most of it. I'm like, yeah, sod it. So like this year just gone, we did an FPL league, and we've done this our second season. We did it, and I was like, oh, we'd do a league between like me and Will, the other the co-host that does it with me. And he was like, I don't even remember you saying this. I was like, well, it's been here since September. Just sat on the side ready because I know that I was smashing it and I paid attention to it. So I've got the trophy, so it's sat behind me now. I'm like, yeah, that's my trophy. And he's just like, that's sad. I was like, yeah, but I'm competitive. I can't accept losing. Like, it really winds me up. So when it comes to games, I'm very much like Lou in the sense of if it annoys me, I'm like, oh, I need to throw the controller. I'm getting annoyed, and I just have to throw it across the desk, and that's it. I'm done. I'm just going to turn it off.
I remember when you used to be like wired controllers, and I'd rage quit, and I'd go like that, and it would just ping out. then I remember on the Xbox when the Elite controller come out. Do you remember that? Like all the paddle buttons, and you could like have different height analog sticks and all that sort of stuff. I think I was playing like Gears of War, and I programmed one of the paddle buttons to be the quick reload.
Okay.
Instead of like RB, you got it like a little like bar, and if you got it in the right time, like the reload was just like a click of your fingers. And
okay, right.
Yeah, and I did it wrong like twice on the bounce, and I was like, right, fuck this. And I literally got the controller, and I went to throw it, and I was like, actually, this is like £150 controller. So I just like placed it neatly down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'd rather punch a wall than smash my controller at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A bucket of polyfill is cheaper than a controller.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are not wrong. You are not wrong. I used to like when the old wired controllers, if you ping it up, that was almost like your repercussion for throwing a controller. You had to get up and plug it back into the PlayStation just to play the game again. It was like that was the PlayStation going, that wasn't very smart now, was it?
Yeah, that'll teach you.
That'll teach you. Yes.
And how's so what you got planned for your podcast? What, like anything in the pipeline or?
Well, we've just so we're in the off season, so we kick off again actually next week.
Yeah.
So obviously got a couple of weeks of pre-season, and then obviously back into the main season. So looking forward to that. Trying to line up a couple of guests.
Nice.
So we've got a couple of contacts for like ex-Premier League players now.
Oh,
we've got hopefully a couple of them will come on. And just nice. Just I'm a bit of a fanboy with football generally, but because I wasn't like you guys, I never played it when I was a kid. Like I've never been any good at it. I'm playing goal now for like a little five-a-side team for Man v Fat and stuff to help lose some weight, have a bit of a laugh. I used to play with Lou every now and then as well when he could make it. I know with work and stuff, it's always really difficult.
Yeah, it's always been difficult, but it was good fun when we did it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's great fun, and like I ended up in goal after the second game because someone couldn't turn up, and I was like, actually, this is all right. Nobody else, like, no one wants to be in goal today. No one wants to be goalie. I'm that weirdo that was like, yeah, I'll go in goal. Why not? It'll be a laugh. Because in my head, I'm like, I don't have to run. I hate running. I don't have to move. Then I could just jump about a bit. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I was always like a
Ninja Turtle in goal, Ben.
Yeah, I try my best. I mean, you've seen I've pulled off some worldies at times.
You have pulled off some worldies, to be fair.
A little like toe poke, and it goes.
Especially when I used to shoot against you.
Oh, mate, you scored some worldies, but I don't want to talk about that because that upsets me. Yes, we've got a couple of cool things going. We've got our FPL league coming up again, so
nice.
Yeah, it'll be nice. We've got like better quality recording and stuff this year. We've actually put a bit of money into it, so we're taking it a bit more seriously now.
Yeah.
Nice. So hopefully we can quit our day jobs and just be like local celebrities, really.
That'd be nice.
Well, you have featured in the local magazine.
We have, courtesy of our very own Lewis. So
yes, you're welcome.
Yep.
Loves it. He loves it, doesn't he?
I love connecting people. If I can help people out, then that's what it's for. Like even
absolutely, of course it is.
Like even in our little like podcast like community, like we've said it before, but it's we found like a really good group of people, and everyone helps everyone. And like some people don't even ask for anything in return. Like you just we found a niche community. And when me and Ben decided to start this page, and really, it probably thanks to you and Will, really, like because you started
Stop it! Woo. I'm welling up here, boys. Stop.
Yeah. It was like, do you know what? Like, obviously, we weren't going to step on your toes and do a football podcast. One reason because I know jack all about football, as in like this, just about kick a ball.
Can I just step in? Have you listened to the podcast? We know fuck all. It's literally just two idiots talking about football.
Sometimes that's the best thing as well, because you just get some real gems of rubbish takes on things, but also real gems of some real quality, and you actually sit there and you go, yeah, he does know what he's talking about. Even though you pretend that you don't, or like it appears that you don't in occasions, because you do get like, even me, like I've played football my entire life. I've supported football my entire life. I've made a point of going up to see games and stuff like that. I've been to the Emirates more times than I can count. Not so much recently, but like from when I was properly following it. But even now, I've got some awful takes on football. Absolutely terrible takes. But it's all part of being a football fan, which is honestly brilliant. It really is, and I love listening to football podcasts because I think like those football podcasters, unless you're listening to like professionals talk about it who actually know what they're talking about and all that sort of stuff, they're just fans like you and me, and it allows you to connect with the people who are doing it, even if they've got some really terrible takes on certain things.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're like Will and I, we're both Arsenal fans, been Arsenal fans our entire life, and it's good man. See, Lou, you could learn a few things here, my friend.
I mean, probably not a lot, to be fair.
In the
we won't go into that.
In the nicest way possible, he was set up to fail when his dad named him. Like, that was it. After that, we were set up to fail at that point. We'll let him be. He can.
This is true.
Enjoy his United fandom.
He didn't really have much choice, to be fair.
But in my defence, like down south, I probably have been to United enough times that I've like earned to be like a United fan.
Yeah, one of the few, perhaps.
Yeah, one of the few. I'm quite happy to take that title. But and we're the same. Like when we decided to do the podcast, we was like, did a bit of research. There didn't seem to be that many like, little like nerdy podcasts. There's like you got your big ones like IGN and all stuff like that and things but they've just got the investment, the money. They get to go to like the big Comic-Cons and stuff like that. But we was like, well, we're both into our gaming. We've been to like a few Comic-Cons and stuff like that. We've seen all the movies, like pretty much 9 out of the 10 movies we've gone together and seen and that. So it was like, we'll just give it a little go, and then I've messaged you like for ideas and what mics to get and stuff like that. And then we've joined a few communities and it's just really grown. And we're like 1,500 followers in less than like 18 months or so. So
honestly, like from what you guys have done is fantastic. Like watching it, obviously listening to the pod and stuff, but just seeing all the posts that you're doing, you're constantly tagging so many people within kind of your network. It's expanded so much. And you're right, it is a niche. And I think you've really found something quite unique there, and the fact that it's you two, like your best mates, you've both got that thing in common, you've got that kind of chemistry and that dynamic. That's what makes these sort of things, especially in my eyes, like it's all fantastic. And as you said, regarding like the football podcast stuff, you don't need to know anything about football. No. If you buy into like that person and that kind of double act, so to speak, then you'd enjoy it no matter what.
100%.
Like, it's just such a good laugh.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's great. But it was like Lou approached me with the idea, and obviously he said about it, and it was I was on board straight away because like it's like something that I can talk for days about, and when you find something that you can talk for days about, you're always going to find a little niche and a little group of people.
Of course you will. Yeah, exactly.
It's fun, isn't it? But plus, it gets me out of the house for an hour or two every once in a while to actually talk shop about something completely different than
see your mate. It's an excuse for the other half to say, "I'll go out for a bit." Sorry, and it's just kind of your time. It's that man time, isn't it? You need that with your mate. It's an outlet, and to talk shit and people listen.
Yeah,
you talk shit with one of your mates. It's like, what a weird scenario to be in.
Yeah, but it's great.
Yeah, of course it is. So people are going to listen now.
Get messages on like Instagram, people saying, "When's the next episode? When's the next episode?" I'm like, are people really like that invested in it?
Is this Ben on a fake Instagram?
Well, to be fair, for the first 6 months, I wasn't really sure if I existed. No. It was getting to that point because I was off training and like busy at work and all that sort of stuff. It was like Lou for the first 6 months. It was almost like I just appeared out of nowhere. Like 8 months in.
Who's this guy?
Even I don't know. It's just random in my house that said they want to be on the podcast.
Oh dear. But no, it's great. Speaking of football stroke nerdiness, we did have a little sort of idea. Well, Lewis had a little idea that we were going to do the original 151, but make it a football team.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued to hear your team, to be fair. I've actually, don't want to be the teacher's pet or nothing, but I actually did 1 to 16. I've got subs and all sorts.
See, I haven't done subs.
Yeah.
I've done my starting 11.
I will just say it does make a change because Ben normally does it like 2 seconds before we actually do it on the podcast. I set the homework and then he'll come around. I'm like, have you done your homework? He's like, I'm doing it now. Yeah. So for him to be prepared is actually a miracle.
Genuinely.
Nice.
I'm not like saying it I'm rubbish at doing stuff fine. I was rubbish at it at school. I used to do my homework in the 5 minutes before lessons. I would have been rubbish with it for now. Like, honestly, the amount of times that we sit there, we come around and we're like, yeah, let's do a podcast. And I'm writing notes as we're setting up the set, as we're setting up the mics and stuff like that, because I'm rubbish at it. I'm just useless. So the fact that I have been prepared for this, I'm going to scream about it because it doesn't happen very often. And I'm going to enjoy the fact that I'm doing it.
You have set yourself up for a rather large fall if this doesn't work out for you, Ben.
Genuinely, I'll be honest with you.
I hope the phone battery dies and you can't.
Genuinely, it doesn't even matter. I've gone for anyone that stood on two legs that I think would look right in this position. So that's
okay.
What I'm with.
All right, you're going to disagree with a few of mine then, because I've got a little bit rogue, but there's logic behind mine.
So Lou's gone a bit rogue as well, and I think he's got logic behind it as well. And I've got elements of logic behind it. However, I did really go with who's vaguely humanoid or stood on two legs that I think would do well in a position on a football pitch. So
I've done similar. That was my kind of first thought process. And then as I kind of had my 11, I'm like, actually, what about X or that? And I'm like, that would work better. But what about...
I'll tell you what we do. Because obviously, like, Will's not with you. Will did do a team because we were in our little group chat, and Will, bless him, he doesn't know a lot about Pokemon, and he quite admitted it. So Will's team was just 11 Charizards. So that was Will's team, wasn't it? I love that when you were in the chat earlier.
So we're starting on the floor, so we can only work up from there. So if I'm prepared and my team falls flat, at least it's better than 11 Charizards.
Oh, I really hope he listens to this. I really hope he listens.
Oh, dear. So should we do it position? So we'll do position, goalkeeper, we'll all do it, and we'll explain our reasonings and work our way through, or do you want to do teams? And
I think position might be easier.
Yeah. So we'll start with that then. Goalkeeper. Who we got then?
Okay, so I've gone for Machamp.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
4 arms.
Yeah.
Very quick, very strong. So he's going to dominate in the air. He's got 4 arms, so he can hand off loads of people and stick the ball. And he's obviously quite athletic, so I think he'd do well in that position.
Yeah. So I went slightly similar, but very different in practicality. So I went Mr. Mime.
That was my first option, and then I went back to it later on.
Yeah. So I went Mr. Mime for very similar reasons. Big hands, but barriers, stuff like that, manipulation and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I went Mr. Mime.
Nice.
I thought your logic as well, Ben. I had as my first one, but then I decided to change it, and I went for Alakazam.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought, obviously, like, he can do all that. Nothing's getting past him. He can just like manipulate the ball. So I was like, and he's got 2 spoons, which I just thought would be quite funny. The goalkeeper gloves, just like 2 random spoons.
Batting things away with spoons.
Yeah, fair. Yeah,
all of them are logical at this point. I think you can understand the reasoning. They make sense.
Yeah.
So in defence, I've done traditional right back, left back, centre half pairing type thing.
Yeah, I've done that.
But so should we? Have you done right back, left back, centre half, or you just done 4 blank?
I just did 4 because I went like 4-4-2 formation. But
make up your right back, left back. Let's go right back.
Okay, so I went for Muck because I thought everything would just stick to him. Like, ball comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
He's going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can semi-see the logic to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way at all. And now I'm kind of looking at my team thinking, oh, okay.
We should have put Charizard in.
Do you know what? I didn't put Charizard either because I thought it would be too obvious. So I tried to steer clear of like the main obvious choices.
Yeah. So for my left back, I went Magmar, and it will make sense when I tell you my left midfielder for some reason because I feel like these two pair up really, really nicely and would work well on the wing. But I went with Magmar because again, humanoidish.
Yeah.
So I went Magmar for my left back.
Fair enough. I went with Scyther.
Yep.
Nice.
So I wanted something very strong, bit intimidating at that left back, but quick as anything up and down that wing. So I've envisaged him playing more as a sort of left wing back than a left back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. Right back, I went Golduck. Solid, just solid all round. You need a solid right back, Mr. Reliable. He's just solid all round. Like, no one goes, oh, Golduck. He was rubbish today, wasn't he? He's just a solid all-rounder. He's my right back. He's the Gary Neville of right backs, just semi-solid all round.
Yeah, reliable, 7 out of 10 every week. No problem.
Exactly that. Yeah. 6, 7 out of 10. You can't go wrong with him. First name on the team sheet.
Yeah.
Golduck at right back.
Makes sense. I went with Jolteon. Again, I'm going for that pace. Yeah. We'll probably see how this is going a little bit there.
So, to be fair, having said that, I did think about Jolteon, Vaporeon, Flareon, but they fell off because I went two-legged humanoid. So I can see the logic behind speed, rapid, up and down. I can see the logic behind it. Yeah. Right back for you?
I went for where is it on my phone? There it is. Arbok.
Okay, very different approaches.
I thought he reminded me he would be like the Luis Suarez. Like he'd be a little bit dirty. Well, no, but like dirty. He'd be that sort of player. Be a dirty defender.
I do see the logic. Yeah, I do see that.
And he'd fight you. That's where I was going with the Suarez.
Okay, I can see the logic, but yeah, Suarez at right back. Could you imagine? Oh, quality. And then centre-back partners. So what's your centre-back pairing?
So I went for Gyarados and Onyx because they're big, they'd be strong.
Yeah.
Obviously, like a rock-solid defender, pardon the pun. But I thought they'd be two big players that you would struggle to get past.
Huh?
Yeah, I've gone very similar to Lou. So I've gone proper rock-solid. And I'm thinking of that relationship.
Yeah.
I've gone Golem and Onyx. Yeah, they complement each other because Golem's still quite quick, solid still no matter what, but he's a bit more compact. So he can potentially play out from the back a little bit. Whereas Onyx, nothing's going to get past him.
No.
So I went a similar sort of vein. I thought solid. I thought who could be a pairing, but then still went with the upright on two sort of element to it. And I've got Blastoise and Primeape.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Again, solid, like defensive but forceful. You know, so you've got like the Blastoise, very defensive, very sort of like you're not going to get past me. You've got Primeape who's maybe a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more going to run through people and stuff like that. That was my thought process when it came to, I think we all had very similar sort of like, defensive.
Yeah, big, strong, solid defence.
Yeah. So that was what I went with there. Yeah. So I think, again, not bad across.
Yeah, I could understand it. Yeah.
They're all logical choices. They're all logical choices. I went traditional sort of semi 4-4-2, but I've got a holder and a more attacking-y sort of central midfielders.
Okay, I've gone 4-2-3-1 just to really make it confusing.
Yeah, I love that. So
I was trying to go for the modern twist on things.
Yeah, I just went back to basics.
I think 4-4-2.
You know what? I spent so much time on this, lads. It's ridiculous.
I'm not surprised. You said you're competitive. I'm not surprised.
I changed my formation.
There is not a trophy.
What do you mean there's no trophy? I'll buy one and then you can present it to me.
Yeah. I've been at work and I've had a post-it note next to my keyboard and I've I started off with goalkeepers and I was like, oh no, I don't know. And literally I've got a big stack of like the ones that you get that are like 4 multicoloured. I've almost gone through like 3/4 of a stack changing my team.
Wow.
I've invested.
Yeah. All right, so we'll just go midfielders in general then.
Yeah.
So for me, I had Hitmonchan in the 4, Electabuzz on the left, so with that Electabuzz Magmar sort of role. Okay. Mewtwo on the right, a little bit tricky, a little bit powerful, a little bit sort of direct, and then Poliwrath in the 8. Again, solid.
Very interesting,
yeah. That was my 4. Sort of like Hitmonchan, a little bit of a ball winner, a little bit of a ball player. Electabuzz and Magmar, in my brain, they're like counterparts.
Yeah, I do. As soon as you said Magmar, I was like, I know you're going to go Electabuzz just for fun. Yeah, I can see that.
So they kind of work on the side, that side. Again, Poliwrath, I played in central midfield most of my football career. I was a very simple footballer, big, strong, win the ball, give it to someone with a bit of footballing brain. And for some reason, I look at Poliwrath and I think that is what that looks like. Like round, win something, give it to someone with a brain, and then I don't know. I just felt like Mewtwo would be a wizard, a little bit of trickery, a little bit of directness on the other wing. So that's my midfield 4 that I went with.
Ben, what's yours?
I've got some similar choices. So if we go for like a midfield 3 with one slightly further forward, kind of like the way I kind of envisioned it. Your 2 sort of centre mids. I've gone for a bit of balance, but a bit of power.
Yep.
Primeape, because you need a big bastard in midfield that's just going to lose his shit but control everything.
And
I've gone Hitmonchan because still got the speed and that power side of things, but I feel like he'd be quite stylish. He'd be able to do things and nip around and do things.
He's almost that left-footed maestro.
Yeah, do you know what? That's exactly what I thought in my head as well.
Yeah. There's something about lefties that just make everything look pretty when they're playing football. Like, you can't do it as a righty. It doesn't matter how aggressive or how angry you are as a lefty. Everything you do is pretty. Everything. It's just caressed. And that's what Hitmonchan doing. So I'm there with you on that one. That I can see that 100%.
And everything you said about Mewtwo, I completely agree with. I've got Mewtwo as that kind of 10 sort of role, 8/10. Because you've got all the psychic powers. He's just going to do whatever he wants. You're not going to be able to get near him because he's just going to drift around, float around, commanding presence on the pitch. You're not going to want to go anywhere near him, and he just plays everyone in.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can see that.
What about you, Lou? You're smirking at every time we've said something here. You look quite confident.
No, I don't. I actually don't think mine's all that. To be fair, so I went Hitmonlee because I thought he's got the legs. I thought good free kick taker. I reckon he could bend it like Beckham when you needed him to.
Oh, okay.
I've gone for Pidgey because I thought he'd be good in the air.
Not Pidgeot, you've gone Pidgey.
Oh yeah. Hey, don't diss Pidgey.
Pidgey, I feel, is the equivalent of Zinchenko at this point.
Exactly.
Absolutely terrible.
Not little C, little P. I've gone Ninetales.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
Every team was pretty boy.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah. And then I went Arcanine.
Yeah, okay. I totally agree with Arcanine.
Yeah, I can see Arcanine. And I think if I was going less of the bipedal route, I probably would have stuck Arcanine in there as well. But
yeah, so I've got obviously like 2 sort of wingers that will potentially cut in as well.
Yeah.
So I've got Hitmonlee on left wing, exactly like Lou said, good free kick. He's leggy. So I'd expect to be quite quick.
Yeah.
So he'd be able to work his way up and down.
Also, I reckon he'd be
trickery.
Good sliding tackle as well.
Mate, he'd be able to do everything, wouldn't he? Realistically,
like
he's tackled you 12 times, so you don't even know. And then Arcanine on the right because he's graceful as anything and super quick.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So again, thinking of the Hitmonlee, I've actually got him Hitmonlee in the 9, and then Alakazam playing 10.
Oh,
so
okay.
Alakazam, I just picture football in brain. I picture a real sort of wizardry, artistry behind it, and then Hitmonlee, like you said, leggy, powerful, just making the runs constantly, running in behind, just knock him in. He's got the finish, he's got the whip, he'll hit the channels for you if you need an out and stuff like that. So I went, hit Alakazam playing just off Hitmonlee.
And you got that type balance as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Traditionally.
So, a little bit of, again, artistry, wizardry with Alakazam. He's got the brain for it. And then Hitmonlee is kind of your direct brute, but has got a nice finish on him and stuff like that. Free kick taker, leggy. Yeah, nice. That was my front 2.
Yeah, I went for Rapidash because I thought obviously he could just run, or no one's catching him.
Yeah,
he's quick. I reckon cross a nice ball like Hitmonlee, cross the ball in, bosh. And I went for Eevee as well.
Oh, okay. You've gone for quite a small team in some of your positions here.
The greatest player in the world was one of the shortest, so I guess there is.
There we go. I'm just thinking Eevee against Golem, Onyx, and Gyarados.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
I'm
sure my Blastoise primary will probably.
Oh, sorry, I had Blastoise. Yeah, I forgot Blastoise.
We'll quite enjoy that. But yeah, who you got down the middle?
I've gone for a big man. I've gone for Poliwrath.
Yeah,
I feel like he's got that presence about him. He's not much going to get past him.
Yeah.
He's got a solid shot on him. But also, I'm also thinking he can hold the ball up. So when you've got Arcanine and Hitmonlee cutting inside, doing their thing as well. Mewtwo can potentially make a run. Hitmonchan can kind of go forwards when needed. So that was my thought process there.
I'll tell you what. Given the fact it's a bit kooky of a challenge, I think there's 3 solid teams with. I think they're quite well thought out. To be fair, I think we've got 3 very solid teams. I think very different and very similar in the same way. But yeah, I can definitely see. I would probably put people like Arcanine and stuff like that if I went less bipedal and more sort of just picked from the whole bracket. I just went fully bipedal, and I just thought like everyone who's up on their feet can give it a go.
Me and Lou was like, no, we want to win.
Well, I was also looking at it, and I was kind of thinking of Pokemon that aren't always like in the limelight. It's always a Charizard. It's always I've gone for Eevee, that is a popular one. But a lot of the time, I reckon if you went up to a lot of people and was like, right, name a starting 11 for a Pokemon, guarantee Charizard would be in everyone's team.
Of course, 100%.
If you just did 151.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was kind of like, I wanted to scope it a little bit and think, right, what kind of Pokemon don't really get a lot of love?
Yeah, Joe, I did sort of think similar because I had Raichu in there at one point. Because I thought, I wanted Pikachu in there because everyone wants Pikachu in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, because I don't want to do that because everyone would expect it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, actually, Raichu, because you want the evolved form, because that's
like peak, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, obviously, I was thinking Machoke, maybe in midfield. I was like, no, because you want Machamp, because you got 4 arms. I was like, oh, goalie, that makes sense. And that was just a big tick straight away. Yeah, but honestly, I loved this challenge. This was absolutely
it was great.
Yeah,
it really was.
Originally, I did it with all 1,000 plus. I was looking at all of them because I didn't realise it was just the original 151 that we were picking from, and then obviously when I found that out, the whole lot changed a little bit.
Have you still got that team?
No, I deleted it. But I think the one that I do remember, and it's the one that I probably changed for Hitmonlee, was Cinderace. Because it's the only Pokemon that's actually based on a football player.
Who is it based off?
It's just a generic football player. So Cinderace came in Sword and Shield, which was based on the UK. That was the region that it was based on. It was the only Pokemon game where Mum is spelled MUM because it was British.
I remember that.
I didn't even notice that. I remember it was based off the UK. Yeah, because you had
Cinderace
Scotland.
A proper football player. So I had him up front, and I knew I definitely had him up front. But yeah, so he was the only one that I was like, well, he's definitely going in because he's a footballer. He plays football. He's got to be in. And then Lewis went, yeah, original 151, and I was like,
originally, because I didn't know Will wasn't that didn't know that much about Pokemon, so I was like, if I had to open it up, it could be really interesting because you could go was it 8, 9 gen now?
9 gens,
yeah. And then you messaged Will's not that into Pokemon. I was like, I was like 150. At least most people could choose 11. So he choose 11 of the same Pokemon, but still,
look, he knew a Pokemon. I was proud of him.
Yeah,
he knew one.
100%.
But no, I thought it was quite a good little challenge. It's I was trying to think because obviously, you being a football podcast, us being gaming and nerdy, I was like, how can we combine the two and still keep it interesting? Obviously, with another when we get other guests on, a lot of them probably will be into Pokemon and stuff like that. I thought football, Pokemon, boom, it just seemed like a good idea, and it's actually worked out a lot better than I thought.
Yeah, weirdly makes sense.
Yeah, I just love the fact that we've sat here for best part of an hour, and we probably could go for another hour talking about the logic behind our football team choices?
Oh, definitely.
Because there is so much logic involved in it. And we're like, no, actually, what about that? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And there's no disagreements with it, apart from, sorry, Lou. But...
I'm going to put it out there to the nerdy nation, and I reckon Pidgey will get a lot of love. In fact, I know Trav will give Pidgey a lot of love.
Okay.
So
well,
suck it.
Someone's got to.
Look, you both support Arsenal, so you can go suck my left nut.
There's nothing wrong with that. We're allowed to be Arsenal fans because Arsenal is awesome.
There we go. There we go.
Conversation.
But I love that. To be fair, I love that about football, and like it's one of those. Again, I know we're nerdy, you guys are the football, but football is one of those that you can really bring everything back around to, and I love that because you can just be like, oh, wouldn't that be really good as a defender? And you're like, yeah, but would it work in a 3-5-1 situation? Would he be able to cover? You can always bring it back to have a really, really eloquent and almost argumentative, but not being argumentative conversation about any topic when it comes to football.
Well, I did think about doing that. Put the teeth back in. Doing it with video game characters, but then I knew, obviously, I know Ben outside of it. I know Ben collects Pokemon, so it made sense to do a Pokemon starting 11. But like you say, I mean, I can guarantee now we could do the video game one probably straight away. We could do loads of different things related to a starting 11.
Yeah. Maybe it could be a feature we do next time for another collab mashup, perhaps.
Absolutely.
Throwing it out there. Yeah,
this has been brilliant. Just keep doing it. This could be like a monthly series. We'll just come together.
No, Ben just needs a trophy. We need to do like a starting 11 trophy, and then the best team can have it until the next.
Lou, stop it! I'll order it now, lads. Bear with me.
Well, to be fair, the trophy shop's only down the road from you anyway, isn't it?
I must admit I didn't shop local. Sorry, I went to trophy online.
It's all about supporting local.
Yeah, I know. But they never bloody open every time I went down there. So
there's one in Broadstairs next to Hamptons.
I trust you to know that there's
a
trophy shop next to a pub.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to comment, but yeah.
We all knew, didn't we? I mean,
we've known him long enough to comment. But yeah, I like that. We should definitely do more of that. Next time we're about, we'll collab that again. And
will that be the next one then? We'll do video game characters starting 11.
Sounds good to me.
What? From NES up to PS5. There you go. So it is a massive.
Yeah, we'll have to specify if we're doing subs as well.
Oh yeah, we don't bloody.
We could get a few more in then that we like. Can't we?
Teacher's pet over here with his sub.
What were your subs?
For interest. I did 5 subs, and again, it was based on very similar logic. I had Hypno, Nidoqueen, Nidoking, Kangaskhan, and I did put Raichu in as number 16. I did whack Raichu in there. And again, it was up on all fours. I think Nidoqueen, Nidoking, really, really good sort of backup defensive partnership, given their sort of link together and stuff like that. Kangaskhan, goalkeeper, just protective. I thought that would work well, protecting the goal. Raichu for pure speed. And then Hypno, I kind of had as that little annoying little rascal that just nibbles at people's feet and that irritating midfielder that you just can't shake. It doesn't matter what you're doing, he's just that one that just runs everywhere. The Jisung Park of the Pokemon world.
Yeah, I can see that.
The ye old reliable that you just go, right, go and man mark their best player and completely take him out of the game, and he just goes and does it and just be irritating during it. That's what I kind of had Hypno as.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, those were my 5. But I probably could have done loads of them. For anyone that was bipedal, I could have.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Ben's made his own Premier League. He's got 20 teams.
I just wish we thought about it about 3 weeks ago, because there is a TikTok filter which you can draft your own Pokemon team now.
Is there?
Yeah, but if we'd thought about this 3 or 4 weeks ago, we could have done it ourselves. But yeah, there is
that's in.
One of those ones where you just cycles through on the top of your forehead and you put it in positions. There is one of them that I saw the other day. Yeah, disappointing.
That's a shame. Missed opportunity, guys. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's not as fun as our one. Our one's better than TikTok.
Always better than TikTok. Yeah. Football, love Pokemon, love nerdiness, love everything about that challenge. So I'm on board for doing it again.
Yeah, me too, boys. That was brilliant.
Quickly, because I'd like to hear you guys' opinion. Obviously, we'll do our own San Diego Comic-Con breakdown when we get around to doing the pod again. What are your guys' thoughts on RDJ coming back to the MCU?
Okay. Honest opinion, my first reaction was, oh, for God's sake, why?
Yeah.
And that's nothing against RDJ at all. No. I think he single-handedly built this, let's be honest.
100%.
He built exactly how it is now.
100%.
But I also do get it because obviously the whole Jonathan Majors situation with Kang, also they've killed Kang off generally as well. I know the multiverse, you can get anyone back, blah, 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 blah.
100%.
But I do also get it, RDJ being in, because I'm sure I read somewhere that in one of the comics he comes back as Doctor Doom in one of the variants.
I think it was.
It is the sequel story, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think they like Ben. I think racking my nerd archive off the top of my head, I think it was like 2012-ish. There was one where I think it's the infamous Doctor Doom, and that is where Tony Stark becomes Doctor Doom. I would have to do a bit more into it to get some more facts on it, but yes, it does happen. And again, I think I'm on the fence with it, like how you was, Ben. Like I saw it, and obviously everyone's reaction was like, "Oh my god, yes, yes, yes!" And I was a bit like, "How are they going to do it?" Because obviously there's going to be, someone surely's got to be like, well, "You look familiar."
Yeah, unless I thought exactly the same. But if he doesn't get unmasked, then in my opinion, I don't care who plays it. And if it's going to be RDJ underneath it, he's a fantastic actor. But unfortunately, he is Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man, even in the comics, you just see it as RDJ, don't you? I know it sounds ridiculous.
Like obviously when he's got the Iron Man mask on and he's filming and he's speaking through it, is it going to be the same like with the Doom mask? Because they're going to obviously be made of like the same sort of material. Because obviously he did that thing, I can't remember if he posted it on like Twitter or Instagram or whatever. He was like, new mask, same task.
Yeah. Task on it. That was his, that's what he said when he was unmasked. So
and something that I did see that was quite funny as well was that they were going to, Tropic Thunder. Yeah.
I know exactly where this is going.
There was a thing where like Robert Downey Jr. is going to come back as Black Panther, and it was his Tropic Thunder character's head in the Black Panther suit.
I saw another one saying, "Why don't they just replace him as Kang and say nothing?"
Yeah,
and I thought you probably could. Like, not many franchises could get away with something like that. Marvel can.
Yeah, I agree with the pair of you. When I remember, so I was on night shift when I woke up to the news, but I woke up at like 5:30 in the afternoon or something ridiculous like that, and I saw it, and I was like, my initial thought was, why?
Yeah,
why? They had this almost perfect story arc of like arrogance and redemption of Iron Man, and he encapsulated it almost perfectly throughout those entire 10, 12 years or whatever it was that the original Infinity Wars were going. Why would they risk us going, why, really? Like, it doesn't work sort of thing. But then on the flip side, I do agree with Ben. He's a fantastic actor. Yeah. He will probably do it wonderfully well because he does like difficult and like tragic characters. He does play really well. You know, he was a very, very good Iron Man. He was a very, very good Sherlock Holmes. He's probably going to be a very, very good Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I think just why. In a previous episode, we said, didn't we, like contenders for Doctor Doom, and we had like Gillian Murphy, didn't we?
Yeah, Murphy. Yeah,
I thought
he would. Yeah, because do you remember him? I can't remember what was it Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises, where he was Scarecrow? He was fantastic in that. And he really played that sort of almost dark, sadistic character, but a little bit unhinged.
The other one was the bloke from You, the TV series.
Yeah, Penn Badgley.
That's it. The other one that is it the Danish actor that was Hannibal?
I know the one you're on about. I can't picture it.
No,
I can't think of his name.
I'm not even going to say his name.
Yeah.
But
I know the one you're on about.
I've just had another thought whilst listening to your opinions on it. Do you think that where he's sacrificed himself as Iron Man in Endgame, it was, Doctor Strange said he's seen like, I don't know, what was it, like
14 million.
Yeah. Plus. Do you think this one version will lead into where the comic book ties in of Iron Man becoming Doctor Doom? So it's basically the only one where they could see him, see the Avengers beating Thanos is for Iron Man to sort of, like, say, sacrifice himself, but then go into like an evil route.
Yeah, maybe. I think the thing is with the guys that are producing it, they are very almost true to the comic books as best they can, and they are a little bit comic book nerdy in themselves. So they'll have an answer, they'll have a discussion about it. But yeah, I think Ben's reaction is exactly the same as what my reaction was, and I think yours as well. It's just why?
Yeah. I just it's a commercial reason. Because obviously the last couple of films haven't been great. Like Thor: Love and Thunder, I assume you boys have seen that one.
Yeah.
I thought that's one of the worst Marvel films I've watched, basically since the whole multiverse.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I don't. Go on, Karen.
Sorry, I was just saying, like the film, like, there's just too many puns in it. It just wasn't a Marvel film anymore. It was too cheesy. It's like, we're really cool and we're fun. Like
it tried to be like Guardians, didn't it?
Yeah,
it almost like
wasn't right. It just didn't fit.
No, I mean, I obviously went and saw like Deadpool and Wolverine last night.
No spoilers. I'm seeing it tomorrow, boys. I'm seeing it tomorrow.
I'm not either, so
I'm not. No, I've been really lucky, like myself, obviously being on our Instagram page now. I've seen no spoilers. I can't actually believe it, to be fair, but I would say this has probably been the best Marvel film in a long time.
Oh wow, really? It's high praise.
Yeah, it's massive praise.
I mean, like last night, if I don't know, say like you rocked up to the cinema, I was like, "Oh, Lou, like I've got a spare ticket. It's starting now." I would have sat there and watched it straight away after.
Wow, that to be fair, that speaks absolute volumes of
absolutely. From a sort of candidly honest fan as well. Because you get those fans that just love everything, and you get the fans who hate everything, and then you get the honest fan base, which I trust more with their opinions. And I do feel like because you've got the knowledge to back it up, I'm now more excited to go and see the film.
I don't love everything, like I say to you, like with the Falcon film that's coming out. Like I'm not the biggest Captain America fan. Like I tolerate it, but I've watched the films. I'll enjoy them. But I would say like I don't like every Marvel film that comes out. I'll be like, oh my god, it's 10 out of 10. I love it. Like, and that's all I'll say about it. Like I'll go into depth and discuss it, and there'll be good and bad points. But yeah, I would quite happily. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So well, you enjoy it tomorrow, and I'll enjoy it. Eventually, I'll get around to seeing it. I'll probably be spoiled by that point, but I'll see it eventually.
You've got to let us know when you've done it, and we can just jump on and just have a half-hour chat. Not even podcasts, just we can just say, "Oh my god!"
yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we'll definitely do that. We'll just record it. It'll be a great podcast episode.
Yeah,
your listeners will be like, "Who is this other Ben guy? Like, he just keeps talking."
Lewis has gone from like no Ben to one Ben to two Bens.
Lewis has gone from no Bens to two Bens. Yeah. That's the one.
Two Bens, one Lou.
No, my brain went oh no. I think on that note, it might be time to wrap up. Your brain went exactly the same.
100%. Of course it did. Absolutely. I think every person listening has tuned out now. They're like, this is like a dark turn.
But yeah, so thanks for coming on.
It's a pleasure. Absolutely,
really appreciate you. We'll definitely be doing this again. Like you said, when we've all seen Deadpool and Wolverine, we'll just do it anyway. We'll just record it. We'll have a 40-minute chat on how fucking awesome it was, because there's almost an inevitability that we will, and there's probably quite a large amount to unpack. It will probably take us the length of the film to unpack it. So we'll definitely get on and go from there.
My lips are sealed on that.
But yeah, so appreciate you. We'll add all your socials into the links and stuff like that. But where can we find you guys? Just in general, give a little bit of a snippet where we can find you guys when you're going to start up again, because I know you're in your off season.
Yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday. Yeah, back on the 6th. We'll be there.
Yeah, so all usual places: Spotify, Instagram, etc., etc.
Absolutely, mate. YouTube as well. Get to see our ugly mugs as well.
Love that. Yeah, we'll drop all the links in the descriptions and all that.
Appreciate it, boys.
Your link there, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming on, and I look forward to chatting football and nerdiness with you soon.
Sounds absolutely awesome. Thanks, boys. Thank you very much.
Right, remember, Ben, stay nerdy.